Today, I will tell you a story replete with adventure, intrigue, intrepid explorers, historians, archaeologists, creepy villains, wicked plots, and a courtroom drama. A story that unfolded at Ayodhya, UP, which is believed to be the birthplace of Lord Ram or the Ram Janmabhoomi. In 1528, a large Ram temple was demolished by Babur and a mosque, Babri Masjid, was built on it to announce his win over India. Since then, 5 centuries long struggle ensued for the existence of Lord Ram temple and for the Ram devotees to pray to their beloved deity. It is a story of Bhagwan Ram and his loving, tenacious devotees. Though this tale truly is as old as time, our story begins in September of 1990 in Ayodhya, UP. The Vishwa Hindu Parishad, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, and the Bharatiya Janata Party made a call for a new Ram temple to be built at the Ram Janmabhoomi site where the controversial Babri Masjid stood in Ayodhya. The car sevaks or volunteers started to assemble in Ayodhya at the behest of L.K. Advani of the BJP and Ashok Singhal of the VHP, guided by Rajmata Vijayaraje Scindia. L.K. Advani decided to undertake a Rath Yatra to Ayodhya to mobilize support or perhaps for some added flair. The CM of UP at that time, Mulayam Singh Yadav, promised a total lockdown of the city to thwart the Ram Mandir plan. Unprecedented security arrangements were made by UP police and 28,000 UP provisional armed personnel were deployed in Ayodhya. All bus and train services to Ayodhya were suspended. Out of the 40,000 car sevaks who planned to be in Ayodhya, only 10,000 managed to reach either on foot or by swimming across the Sarayu River. The police imposed a D-Day, a curfew, in the morning of 30th October. It was marked with eerie silence. At around 10 a.m., a large group of car sevaks headed towards the site led by Vamdev, Mahant Nritya Gopal Das Ji and Ashok Singhal of the VHP. The police retaliated and Ashok Singhal was wounded on the head by a police baton. This altercation led to a mob frenzy and open confrontation began between the civilians and the police officers. Mulayam Singh Yadav gave orders to the police to shoot at the car sevaks to restore order. No, not rubber bullets, and no, not at the feet, as is the police practice. Many car sevaks were arrested. At around 11 a.m., in a Hollywood-style thriller move, a holy Hindu man or a sadhu hijacked a large police van in which the police were holding car sevaks as detainees. The daredevil sadhu drove the van right through the barricades, clearing a way for others to follow. The security forces were caught off guard and were forced to chase around 5,000 car sevaks who stormed through the heavily guarded site. Here, two brave brothers, Ram Kumar Kothari and Sharad Kothari, who had traveled from Kolkata and had walked 200 kilometers to finally reach Ayodhya, did a daredevil act. They mounted a saffron flag atop the Babri Masjid as a mark of Ram Lala's victory. This made Mulayam Singh Yadav crazy mad, and he instructed security personnel to fire at the crowd. Car sevaks were chased to be arrested, and if not that, then to be killed. Many car sevaks died from head wounds. There was a stampede at the Sarayu Bridge, which killed over 10 Ram Bhakts. November 1st was a day spent in quiet contemplation by the VHP and the RSS. Please remember, all that the car sevaks wanted was access to their Lord Ram. November 2nd was a black day in the history of India. The Karsevaks decided to face the danger of bloodthirsty Mulayam Singh Yadav administration squarely to free their beloved Lord Ram in spite of the irreplaceable loss of precious lives of their fellow volunteers. Separate processions made their way towards the controversial Babri Masjid. This time around, the Karsevaks wanted to reaffirm their peaceful intent of securing freedom for their Lord Ram. Therefore, the volunteers would touch the feet of the security people who were in their path. This act of ultimate respect for those who killed their fellow innocent Karsevaks just a day before unnerved the police and made them withdraw. Just one step at a time, the Karsevaks from the Digambar Akhada sat on the road and started singing devotional songs. After a while, the police used tear gas and batons to disperse the unarmed, defenseless crowd and then started firing at these hymn-singing, feet-touching, unarmed Lord Ram believers. No warning was given. Some Karsevaks reached the mosque and partially damaged it. The police went on a rampage, opened fire for the second time in 72 hours and chased Karsevaks through the alleys around Hanumangadi. The CRPF personnel dragged out the Kothari brothers, aged 20 and 23, made them sit on the road and shot them in the head. In one such alley, the police blocked the Karsevaks from both ends and fired. This alley today is called Martyrs Alley or Shaheed Gali. The bloodbath that followed has been compared to the Jallianwala Bagh massacre of 1919, where the British opened fire on unarmed innocent Indians. The official number of deaths, as given by Mulayam Singh Yadav, was 16, but the number is said to be more, much, much more. In one of the biggest cover-ups of independent India, Mulayam Singh Yadav instructed the security to dispose of the bodies of the martyrs either by cremating or burying them at unknown places or by just dumping them into the Sarayu River. Many CRPF Jawans refused to shoot at the defenseless volunteers. Mulayam Singh Yadav did not allow newspapers to be circulated the next day for the fear of backlash on his heinous act. These volunteers were from all over the country who had come to Ayodhya to free their Lord Ram. They were not even accorded the basic dignity of cremating or handing the body over to the grieving families as per the post-death Hindu rites, which we readily offer to even the most dreaded anti-India terrorists. They all died at the feet of Lord Ram, becoming one with the pious land of Ayodhya and the holy Sarayu River. The story continues in part 2. Jai Shri Ram.
राम धुन गाते हुए इन राम भक्तों पर मुलायम सिंह की पुलिस ने बिना किसी अधिकृत आदेश के चुन चुन कर सरों और छातियों पर गोली मारनी शुरू कर दी। तत्कालीन प्रधानमंत्री वीपी सिंह और उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री मुलायम सिंह सरकार की पुलिस ने कितने राउंड गोलियां चलाईं, ये उनको भी याद नहीं रहा। पत्रकारों को यहां से आगे नहीं जाने दिया गया, क्योंकि कुछ ही आगे पुलिस की गोली से शहीद हुए न जाने कितनी कारसेवकों की लाशें पुलिस द्वारा इकट्ठी करके रखी जा चुकी थीं। पुलिस अधिकारी नहीं चाहते थे कि पत्रकार उस दृश्य को देख सकें और शवों की गिनती कर सकें।
बाबा कितने आदमी मारे गए? हाँ बाबा कितने आदमी मारे गए?
हम तो यहाँ लुकाए हुए बैठे हैं, सैकड़ों आदमी मर गए।
सैकड़ों आदमी मर गए। अच्छा, पुलिस घर के अंदर घुसी थी?
हाँ, घुसी थी। इसमें एक आप अब मेरा अपना अपना हाथ नीचे में, तो आप बोलो श्री राम, जय जय श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम।
सैकड़ों निहत्थे कारसेवकों के खून से अयोध्या की सड़कें, मंदिर और महंतों की छावनियां खून से लाल हो गईं।
मैं कानपुर से आया था, मैं भी इनके साथ में था आगे के बैच में। हम लोग जब गोले पड़ने लगे तो हम लोग अलग मकान में घुस गए।
ये आप लोग क्या करते हैं जो गोले पड़ने लगे?
हम लोगों ने कहा हम लोग शांतिपूर्वक चल रहे हैं, आप लोग लाठियां आ रही है, गोले मत फेंकिए, हम लोग राम भक्त हैं, श्री राम का भजन करते चल रहे हैं, आप लोगों से हमारी कोई लड़ाई नहीं है। तो इतने में ऊपर से लाठियां बरसने लगी, अब गोली ऊपर से आंसू गैस के गोले छूटने लगे, तो उनमें भगदड़ मच गई। भगदड़ मचने के बाद हम लोग इधर उधर भागे, एक मकान में हम दोनों छुप गए। वहां से पुलिस ने इनको निकाल लिया। मैं अंदर वाले कमरे में घुस गया। इनको निकालने के बाद में इनके पवन तो हाथ से गोली मार दी, इनके सर में चित्रा हो गया, वहीं पे गिर पड़े। तब तक हम लोगों ने खींच के अंदर कमरे में जो है इनको खींच लिया। राम मंदिर बनवा कर रहेंगे, चाहे कितनी भी आवश्यकता हम लोगों को